Quitting your day job and going full-time as a freelance designer can be a scary move for sure. I finally went for it, and even though it hasn't been an easy ride by any means, I still imagine that my preparations played at least some part in how I managed to make a stable living out of my hobby. Here's my road from graphic designer student to full-time freelance designer. Let's start from the beginning. Shortly after I graduated in graphic design, I got a job at a major Swedish in-house firm. Not really the hip agency job that I initially wanted for some reason, more on me being a cog in a huge machinery type thing, but to be completely honest, I learned a lot at that job. I mean, of course it meant stability, colleagues, and other perks of actually having a job, and I also learned how to use the tools I got in school on real actual cases, but most importantly, it got me useful experience in the industry. Like how to manage projects, working with deadlines, handling awesome clients, handling horrible clients, different software, learning more tools, techniques, and the list goes on. Great, right? Well, the thing is that I never really felt enough stimulated creatively, which led me into starting to do my own creations in my spare time. And it didn't take much time to realize that what I really wanted to do was something else. Somewhere around here I found my thing. I started to get a grip of what I really wanted to do when no one was telling me what to do. Demons. Yep, demons. When I got home, I often spent the evenings drawing demons and all that crazy shit that I was really into. Let's face it, I was a comic book geek in a corporate world. I also figured that if I wanted to make something out of this, I need some sort of portfolio to gather and showcase my drawings. So with no experience in coding whatsoever, I used one of many free portfolio template pages out there. At the time I think it was carbonmade.com that I used. I started to get up really early in the morning so I wouldn't come home too late for my own evening sessions. One day a friend of a friend asked me if I wanted to design their next album cover, and I was like, are you kidding me? Fast forward a few months and suddenly I was making a tiny amount of money or no money at all drawing album covers and t-shirts for bands. One thing led to another, more stuff to my portfolio, and slowly but surely I clawed my way into the freelancing business. So I started freelancing on the side of my day job. Not really the rock and roll type move, I mean it has safety nets written all over it, but also a low risk high reward move that gave me the taste of running a business without risking not being able to pay my rent. And that was my life for a few years. A perfectly okay job with great colleagues by day and aspiring freelance artist by night. Album covers for friends turned into album covers for people I had never met, which turned into skateboards, which turned into company branding and animation. If I didn't have a client, I joined designer challenges, I created fan art, or whatever I could do really to just further develop my portfolio and stimulate my creative needs even more. Own projects, fan art, or various designer challenges. There's always stuff to do. I remember how I grew incredibly fast as a designer, illustrator, and animator during this time, and creations for myself or work for other people didn't really matter. The more I was creating and showing people, the more freelance work seemed to find me. However, clients and workload got heavier, managing a full-time job and working nights and weekends on repeat was taking its toll on me. It was clear to me that either I had to start cutting down on freelance work or leave my full-time job. And leaving the comfy, soft safety of my full-time job with great colleagues for the unknown was a scary thought, but at the end of the day, choosing between the two, easiest decision of my life. Please don't burn yourself out. When it's time to jump, jump. And it's kind of hard to say when the time is right. I mean, everyone has to feel for themselves. Some people just jump whenever and figure things out along the way, and I can totally respect that. But for me, I made sure I at least had some amount of work coming up and also some savings to back me up if things would go really dry for a few months. I jumped and everything went super smooth right from the start. No, that's not true. It was a pretty rough first year. But a combination of portfolio, experience, and putting in the work, even on days when I had no work, steered me gradually into making a stable living, doing what I love. 3 years in now, working for my studio in Gothenburg, and there is no turning back. Best decision of my life.